So in today's video, we're going to be doing still wall photography. Let's go. What's up guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Like I said, we're going to be doing still wall photography. And basically, long story short, if everything goes as planned, it will look like a semi-Doctor Strange portal, but in real life. And there's a couple of things that we do need. So basically what you need is what you literally see on this bed. Obviously you need this steel wall right here, but this steel wall is like very fluffy. This is a ultra fine, I think it's steel wall with the 4 zeros on the end. And what you need is a whisk as well. Is this kind of whisk that you need right here, because obviously you're going to put the steel wall into the whisk. And then you need like some kind of string to obviously to spin your whisk with the steel wall inside set on fire. And you need of course a lighter or something to set the steel wall on fire. I have like a barbecue one, the ones that you use on the barbecue, so it's quite long and better than just a normal clicky one. So basically that is all what you need. You break some steel wool off, you put it in the whisk, you set the steel wool on fire, and you spin it around, and it should create like lots of spark. But today we're going to be shooting on my new camera. What you can see right here, this is the Canon EOS 4000D, and so far I've taken a couple of pictures on this camera, and this camera is actually quite amazing. This is a great beginner's camera for £300, and this is technically classed as a DSLR camera, and you know what, I actually quite like it. Lots of people said it's a great camera for beginners like me, so you know what, so far of these pictures, it's actually quite amazing for £300. And obviously that camera did comes with this lens here. This is an 18 to 55mm lens. This is a pretty standard one that it does come with, but also it came with this standard 50mm lens, and this one has a lower aperture than this one. Today we're not going to be using this one. We're going to be using the 18 to 55mm. And I am very excited to see how well this camera does at night. Especially trying to pick up those sparks from the steel wall as you're swinging it around. We're going to head out to our location. Yeah, let's scout it out and let's start setting up the camera and everything else. So let's get a move on, shall we? So alrighty guys, we have just made it here to our first location, and it is literally nothing more but then just a open field, which is really good, so people can't call the police on me to say that I'm trying to set fire to a field. More specifically, I'm focusing more on this place literally right behind me here. We're going to be standing there doing the actual steel wall photography. But however, I do have to be careful though, because I don't really want to set fire to the grass, because it has been very dry because we've had a stupid heat wave. We haven't had a drop of rain, so it does have to rain in the next couple of hours, so which is good. But right now I have to be careful. Enclosed space behind me, that is going to be a good spot, I think. However, if I stand right somewhere over there, I do get like a nice pretty good view, and especially when it's sundown as well. So we're probably going to shoot here, and we're also probably going to shoot somewhere over there. For my settings, I'm thinking about doing a long exposure, because I really want to create like that Doctor Strange portal effect. So, but obviously it is still quite bright, but it does have to be sundown in the next 2 hours. So I'm going to sit around here for a little bit and wait for the sun to drop. So it actually has been roughly about an hour, and it is still quite bright out, but I think I came out a little bit too early. But I was actually going to do a bunch of other stuff, doing photography, like going elsewhere and exploring, but it has got to rain. Like, the schedule has changed, and it has actually got to rain roughly in about 10 minutes. So I actually have to get this done. So what I'm thinking about doing is my settings for my camera is that I'm going to still do my long exposure to get that Doctor Strange portal effect, but my aperture is going to be roughly about 8, so it's dark, and my ISO all the way down to 100, so the camera will actually make it seem dark. Because of the long exposure, it will still pick up the steel wool as I'm flinging it around. Yeah, that's basically what I'm going to do, and I'm actually going to do a little bit of a test to see how well it actually goes. So I'm going to put you on a tripod, and then we're actually going to see. I caused the fire! I caused the fire! Uh-oh. I caused the fire. I know. See what I mean by how it's that dry that it sets fire? Like, I was lucky I seen that. Oh my god. I think it's out. Yeah, I think it's out now. I didn't bring a bottle of water with me. I knew I should have bring a bottle of water with me, but that was lucky. That actually could have set fire to the entirety of this. I actually got so lucky. It was lucky that I heard it, but you know, you get the general idea. You set it on fire and you spin it around, but obviously my camera, this one that I'm recording on, does not pick it up, but the actual shots on the Canon is actually picking it up really well. So you know what, actually I say let's just go for it. That's more like it. This is the little bit that we have left, and I actually just may set it on fire over there, so this catches fire and then we just run like hell. Oh god, I'm putting ideas in my head, but this is a little bit that we have left, so we'll see what to do. Okay, so it has been a couple of days later, and some of the shots actually turned out pretty okay, and some of the other ones I actually went back and actually reshot them at a later night. So I'm going to show you the fail ones, some of the successful ones, and the ones that we done later on that I reshot. So as you can see over here, we have these 4. This is the first spot, you know, by like those trees area. So as you can see, this is one of the test ones that I was doing to actually see. Even though it did pick it up, like it did pick up the sparks and everything else, it wasn't as big as a spark that I want. But this one, however, this one this one was actually awesome. Like the sparks on those was actually amazing. There's so much sparks on this one. This one is actually my favorite one, and this is the one of the most successful ones. However though, because of the long exposure, you could get all of these sparks just flying off. It's not a perfect circle, but however, I can go into Photoshop and just edit that out to be a perfect circle, and I can probably edit myself out. Now we're going to be moving on to the second one, which is this one right here. The one that's like over the bank, so you could get like a nice sunset, and that was what I was looking for. But because we shot when it was like extremely bright, it was it didn't look well. So this is the actual ones that I actually went back and reshot. This one here. This one is actually not bad as well, to be fair. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to open these up into Lightroom, and then we can actually start to edit some of them. So we are here in Lightroom, and I have opened up 4 of the best ones that I actually do have. And of course there's this one with an enormous amount of sparks thanks to that long exposure that I have done, and I actually quite like it because you just have like a nice perfect straight line of all the sparks where it's just hitting the floor. And I haven't really done much. I just increased the contrast and the highlights and decreased the temperature just a touch, so it's not as orange like. However, the vibrance I did increase it just a touch. And that's about it, that's all what I have done. And of course for this one what I could do is decrease the temperature all the way down, so you get like this nice white look rather than like this orange one like here. Actually that orange don't look that bad. I mean, if you wanted to, if you do want to get like that Doctor Strange kind of effect, this would be like the sort of colour you would want. I mean, that would be such a good Doctor Strange pull. Just edit myself and actually just put something else there instead. Moving on to the next one that I have done. As you can see, I have decreased the temperature, so I get like this nice white thing going on. And I made this one a little bit bigger, and of course it was so big I couldn't really, I don't have much control over it, so it's not a perfect circle. And again, for some reason, more sparks here than it is all the way around. Moving on to the 2 that I have that I retook, and again this one's not a perfect circle, but it is actually better. And again, you do have these sparks here. It just must be the way that I just like swing it down and around. But there's hardly any sparks here, which actually sucks, but there's like a lot of sparks over here, so I don't know about this one. And we have this one, which is actually not quite bad actually, to be fair. Again, I love the sunset going on in the background as well as these sparks coming out, and you just got me there. As far as all these goes, this one is my favourite one. You know what? As far as this goes, it turns out absolutely amazing. So let's get some of these photos exported out, and then we will show you guys the actual finishing result. So this is going to be the end of the video, and you know what, I had a ton of fun. Very scary, setting fields on fire and everything else, but a ton of fun and a new experience unlocked. I don't know what else I'll have later down the line. These ideas just kind of come to me. So like I said, it's going to be the end of the video, and I'll see you next time in another video.